What's going on? Welcome to the next episode of Talk Smack with Mac. I'm here with one of my really good buddies, Joe, another Lakers super fan and the creator of this. When Joseph found out I was making the podcast, he said, "Hey man, I have the perfect piece that would go behind you on the podcast." In the beginning, I had a bare wall, and now I have a couple things on the wall, but I also have one amazing piece of art behind me that, represents, I keep my bracelets on and stuff, my Kobe bracelets. The Mamba did a lot for me. He did a lot for Joe. Joseph wearing a Kobe shirt right now. But anyways, what's up, Joe? How you doing? I really appreciate you hopping on.
What's going on, Levi? How you doing, man?
I'm good. I can't complain.
Well, we all can complain, but choose not to, right? What's the use of complaining?
Ain't nobody going to hear us, man.
Right.
The world's going to keep going, whether you bitch and complain about it or if you brush it off and keep it pushing.
I agree. I really do. Yeah, man. But the Mamba is, first of all, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant, right? But one thing I say is I learned a lot from Kobe based off more his death than before, because I studied him a little more after, because I realized what an impact he really had on people. And what people don't realize is what he did for the communities and what he really did, which was he gave back a lot. People thought of him as the ball hog. They thought of him as the not sharing guy. But really, he was a worldwide phenomenon, not just a USA known guy. He was, in China, he was like God. And then, now we got a virus.
Mm-hmm.
No pun intended.
I really appreciate you hopping on the pod, man. You know Laker basketball just as good as anybody that I know. We used to work together and we used to talk Lakers 12 hours a day, 5 or 6 days a week, during the hottest damn days of the year, the coldest days of the year, didn't matter. We were out there. And how do you feel about the Lakers? The bubble started in Orlando, and honestly, I think Laker basketball has been very hard to watch, to put it very nicely. How do you feel about them?
Personally, I feel that some teams need fans. Right? Fans are important. You strive off the energy of fans, whether they're booing you or cheering you. Some players are really good. Kobe was great when they were booing him, right? Because boos don't make the ball go in the bucket or not.
Mm-hmm.
So you could keep booing him, but he's still going to make it. So at the end of the day, I don't feel like the Lakers right now can compete without fans.
Okay, so what do you foresee happening in the playoffs in general, but more specifically in the first round against Portland?
Portland, I see a 4-1. They're going to beat them. It's when you go against teams like Houston, who you got Harden out there, and he doesn't want fans, because look at him in the fourth quarter usually. So he probably doesn't want a fan out there. So he's doing great right now because of that. Right? But when he's under pressure and he's out there, he can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
But you got a guy like LeBron who needs fans, and without fans, minus the Clipper game, he hasn't done much.
Yes.
Anthony Davis has. But
I personally feel like, one, you can't give an excuse for the shooting woes from some of the players in the bubble. But I feel like once they knock off that rust, they'll get better. I honestly think they're uninterested as well. They secured the number 1 seed. And then after that, it was like, let's try different things out. There's no fans here, so we don't need to put on the show. So they're just like, fuck it, man. Let's get healthy. Let's get to the playoffs, and let's get this thing slinging and banging once we get in the playoffs. So I'm expecting to see a different attitude coming from the Lakers. Fans or not, these guys are fucking professionals, and we're still watching from home, and we pay our damn hard-earned money to watch these guys. And with that being in the back of LeBron's mind, he is going to push forward and put on a fucking show and get them a championship, or fighting for one at least.
I agree with you, actually. It's LeBron's legacy that matters. He has to win one in LA regardless.
He has to.
You can't win him in the East and then expect to be known, right? He's going to be known. He's LeBron. He's 6'10", freight train running at you. He's a different ball player than most other guys out there. There will never be, in my mind, another LeBron. Not saying talent and skill, but just because of his size.
He's 1 in a billion,
right,
or 1 in 10 billion maybe. Just because, like you said, he is arguably 6'10", 6'9" and a half barefoot, 250 pounds, runs a 4.40 and he's athletic as fuck. That doesn't even make sense.
I didn't know that. I didn't know a 4.40.
Yeah.
That's fast.
Yeah.
And that's a big boy running at you.
Like maybe a 4.45. I've seen it in his high school script.
But let me ask you a question. What does the number 1 seed really get you right now? Home court advantages doesn't matter.
So I've seen something on ESPN talking about how this is like the worst time to be a number 1 seed ever because you have no advantage whatsoever. It's basically your bench yelling louder than their bench.
I didn't want, man. I see. If I wouldn't have asked if I didn't miss that episode, but that makes perfect sense actually. Man, I was just watching this thing. It's funny when the Lakers won against, I believe, the Celtics. There was the one guy on their team. I forgot his. I really did, but he was just the cheerleader all year. He's a great player, but he was coming off. And
you're talking about Adam Morrison.
Yeah,
the
man.
Former number 1 pick in the draft from Charlotte, man.
Kobe
I think he's never won top 5 maybe, but Adam Morrison was a fucking Kobe. Do you need a back rub, a new towel, some Gatorade? What do you need, Kobe? Here, you want me to rub your shin? Whatever the fuck you needed, Adam Morrison was getting his 2 rings.
And the smartest thing was Kobe said was he was one of the most vital parts to our championship because Ron Artest was talking about him, and then it turned on to him. Kobe said, well, he helped us win. It was a very important part. Jimmy Kimmel made a funny video about it. That's why,
Jimmy Kimmel and Kobe were like best friends, it seemed like.
7 episodes on that show. Jimmy Kimmel, I used to like him, but he's a Trump hater, so,
Let's not talk politics.
Well, I wasn't talking politics.
I know.
I just said Trump hater. I did say that's why.
Yep. A lot of people go back and forth.
I'm just kidding, folks.
Yeah, I'm fucking with you.
But,
I'll talk shit. I don't care.
I'll tell you, though, there's no one team that I think that can beat the Lakers. And I hate even saying it because I'm a Laker fan. I want to see us get more rings than the stupid Boston Celtics. And I hate Boston more than the Cowboys. The 2 things I hate in this world are Cowboys and freaking Boston Celtics. I just can't do them. Fly, Eagles, fly, by the way. But nothing worse than hearing about the old days. But at the end of the day, the one team I think that can beat them, believe it or not, is either Houston. I think it's either. I think Houston, man, that Russell Westbrook, and if you got Russell and Harden on fire, like I was looking at the stats from the games they played this year against each other, the Lakers beat them in Houston, but then got destroyed in LA, and then they got in the bubble they got kind of destroyed.
Bubble games don't count. But
the bubble games are about to be
I agree
bubbles.
with you. I think Houston, if they get hot, they could beat anybody. Period. Because they're just James Harden and Russell Westbrook with nobody in the paint. So they're playing isolation basketball, and if anybody helps, they have 3-point shooters all around. That's hard. That's so hard. They're too fast. They're too great of athletes. James Harden, whether I talk shit about him or not because he gets those little pussy-ass foul calls, he's an absolute amazing basketball player, and he's been playing defense. This dude is amazing,
right?
And fuck everybody that was talking shit about Russell Westbrook like last year, the year before, how he's not that good or yada yada yada. Russell Westbrook is a fucking beast, and now that he's been having one hell of a season ever since they traded Clint Capella, don't jump on the fucking bandwagon. Love him or hate him, but stay consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Russell Westbrook is a fucking dog and one hell of a basketball player.
He is.
And since they traded Clint Capella, those guys have just been going at it.
I tell you, with Russell, people they were saying that he could have been like if Kobe was around when Russell Westbrook was really around. Like if Kobe was younger, I'd say that probably would have been one of the best things to watch because you would have had 2 like players. Because I mean, Kobe Bryant had that will to win just like Russell Westbrook does. Oh, yeah. I mean, he focuses on it all day, right? Because what you focus on naturally, no matter what, is always coming back, right? And why do I don't know. Why do I think that Russell Westbrook could be the next Kobe? He's the only person left in my eyes because there's not going to be another Steph Curry. Mm-hmm. You can't teach somebody to shoot from downtown Oakland into the bucket. It doesn't happen, right? There's not going to be a LeBron. He's too big. James Harden is too weird.
All right, well, yeah. While we're on that, let me ask you, which player right now is one least likely to see another player like, or most likely, that we'll see another one of those guys again?
That's a great question. Least likely would be LeBron, naturally.
Oh, I agree.
But if LeBron wasn't in the conversation, I would say Steph Curry too, because his shot, man, he's I watched a video on him, and the way he shoots is honestly like Kobe. I hate talking about Kobe so much. People get out, but literally he just sat there. He shoots these weird shots that become great, right? That you can't. I mean, that doesn't even matter how much you keep shooting that, right? You're gonna make them, but he knows how to do it from just weird random spots.
What you're saying more specifically is Ray Allen was automatic robot, same exact release and jump spot every single time.
Yes.
He came up and came down in the same position. Steph Curry could throw the ball from behind his back, and it's going in.
Exactly.
He has no same release. It's from all different angles, and it doesn't matter. It's just hitting the bottom of the net.
Which makes it really hard to defend.
Impossible. And his shot off the dribble is – I've never seen anything like that before.
Man, him and the other guy, it's funny, is Dirk Nowitzki. That was the most awkward shooting dude I've ever seen in my life with the weirdest shot, and somehow that thing went.
Dirk Nowitzki throws like a drop kick on his shot. One-legged drop kick. Get off of me, and it's not a foul. It's impossible to block. He's 7 feet tall.
I'm literally just picturing that shot again, man.
Yeah,
it's just, and he was hungry too, right? And the hunger that's in the least, but the player that I think we will see again, as long as they have work ethic, man, we could see another a Russell Westbrook. Honestly, I think
fuck no.
Right, you could duplicate what he does.
Okay, Russell Westbrook is like 6'3", 6'4". Okay, we'll see that. He runs fast as fuck, probably like a 4.38. He has like a 48-inch vertical.
That's duplicate.
Agile as fuck. Not quite to that degree. I think Kobe Bryant, to relate to him again, Kobe Bryant wasn't like, he didn't jump the highest, he didn't run the fastest, he wasn't the strongest. It was just he worked harder than everybody.
That's where it is.
Yeah.
And he didn't, man, it's the craziest thing is when you realize when he made the decision to play basketball was when he was like 2 or 3. He was shooting around, and his dad didn't force him to play basketball like most people would think, but he didn't. He grew up in Italy, which is weird.
He played soccer too, just as much.
But the thing about Kobe was when he makes a decision, he sticks by that decision and he doesn't go against it.
He sees it through.
And he's like, man, whatever happens, happens. But when he missed those 4 air balls
against Utah,
that defined his whole career. Literally, some guys literally would be like, oh, I got nothing. I'm not clutch, right? Kobe sat in a gym in a high school for the whole summer, mastering those shots because he didn't have leg power, right? Same thing. It's funny because I was watching this movie with my son last night, The Pursuit of Happiness. Right? I've never watched it ever in my life, and I always wanted to.
It's a good movie.
Right? And I watched it with my son.
Jerker.
It is. I was watching. I said, son, just watch. Just watch this. I told him, right? The same thing Kobe tells everybody is just focus. What you focus on becomes reality, but your dreams. Don't give up on your dreams. Never give up on you can't. You got to see them through, right? If you had a dream as a kid and you lost it, find it. Right. So that's what I'm figuring out to go back to, because you have to, because then what? You go down, but you didn't finish your job. You didn't complete your mission. Right? I believe there's a mission, but what's your mission? You got to figure your mission out. Yes. And Kobe's mission, I hate saying it, but he was his daughter was going to probably be the first female basketball player in the NBA, because she was going to make people in the WNBA cry. No, she was shooting like Kobe at that age. And she would, man, imagine her.
He taught her all the things that he learned over 20 years at 12.
So she would have been.
Yeah.
What do you do with that?
Yeah.
I mean, I believe everything does happen for a reason, and his purpose was it still makes me sad, man. It does.
Yeah. No, forever. Kobe will always have a spot in our hearts because he touched, people's souls differently.
Right.
He did different things for different people. He inspired different people in different ways. And, there's always going to be a time when certain people could be struggling or going through, tough times in life or in their job or anything for that matter. And they remember that. that Mamba mentality, that Mamba spirit to keep pushing, keep driving, keep going hard. And you just gotta, it's a true test of your character. Who are you in the highest of highs and the lowest of lows? When you're at the lowest of lows, how are you gonna pick yourself up when nobody else is?
It's true.
What are you gonna do to dig deep when you're treading water and you can't swim? Who's gonna come out?
The negative guy or the positive guy?
Yep.
Are you happy when you do something good, and then bad? Man, you got to learn from everything that happens, right? Every chapter in life, right? You have chapters that I'll never have in my life, right? You did things that I'll never do, and I've done things you never do, which makes us two different humans, which is great. But our like stories, right? Just make everything so much better. Like just talking to other people, right? Because I could tell you something that you could relate to, but you know, because you were an inspiration to me, right? You were 18 years old, right? You came into selling Kirby vacuums door to door, right? And the craziest thing, and he was just working with Levi was like a different atmosphere, right? Because he brought out the best in people, and in a way that you can't do unless you're him, because he has a gift that people don't know about unless they know him personally, right? He brings out the best, right? Regardless. And he was so focused on one goal. I'll never forget it. It was the month to go to Hawaii, and he was so focused. And there was nothing was getting in his way. He was doing everything he could. He wanted to work later than ever, which was weird. But he ran a team of people, man. But that you, Levi, were that inspired me, right? At that time, I was a struggling 30-year-old or 25-year-old trying to compete with an 18-year-old. I'm like, so you brought out the best in me, and it was because of work ethic. You just work. If you just work, you achieve what you want. But but watching you focus that month, bro, I tell you, I've never seen someone work like that. And you got it. You nailed it. And you went.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate those kind of words.
I know. I don't make them up.
Yeah.
Not today.
You know, anyway. I try to do my best because, you know, I didn't have much growing up. You know, I didn't have the greatest opportunities, and I used to be so angry about that. I used to be so down. I used to be down on myself and beat myself up because of something that I couldn't control, right?
Right.
And as I've gotten older and I realized who I really am and who I really want to be, regardless of what I went through or where I was at in the past, that doesn't dictate where my future is going. It doesn't matter where I came from. It matters where I'm going. And I always look to the future. I'm planning for the future. What am I doing in 5 years? Okay, what do I need to do to get there? And I knock those out one little goal at a time, short term to the long term. My life is very structured and very planned, but I'm also learning how to relax and enjoy the times too. I enjoy being a dad. I don't want that to go too fast. I don't want to take that for granted. So I'm learning how to manage my time wisely, and that comes down to sacrifices. What am I going to sacrifice that's not really important? Video games. All right, that's got to go. It's the important shit. And then when I have a little bit of free time, I'm going to enjoy myself.
Right.
But I gotta look at the positives at all times, because you knew me, like you said, when I was 18, man. I was just a little angry firecracker for no reason. No reason at all. Why? That's exhausting. It's exhausting to be mean or mad or negative.
Is it?
It's draining.
Wow. I never knew that, honestly. Because I guess I would be mad, but it's.
Yeah, you always are like, hey man, what's up? How you doing?
You gotta, you know, that's one thing that I took away from my career there, was the two things, was to set goals, but really is just be happy, right? I walk into stores and I just start talking to people, and if you try to make, man, if you can, at the end of the day, just like Kobe said, no matter what, if you can inspire someone, then you're doing your job in life. Somebody, it doesn't matter who it is, right? That's why maybe we should speak more about our opinions instead of trying to be scared of what other people think, and worry about how we can inspire somebody. What are you doing to inspire somebody? If what you're doing isn't inspiring somebody, right? I'll tell you this. My dad, he's a 63-year-old dude, but if you go look up his career path, he's only been like 5 jobs, but nobody will have a bad thing to say about him, because he knows that the way people remember you is the most important thing. It's your decision. If they want to, if you want to be known as the guy that was the mean guy, or you want to be the bully, that's how or you want to be known as
are you the comedian? Are you, the hardworking guy, the stern guy, the funny guy, the nice guy, the uplifting guy?
Right.
Everybody is going to remember you based on your character and the person that you portray. And you're right?
No, I affected my nose because it's so big. Oh. I got I got a Jew nose, so it goes forward. Boop.
I got you. But no, man, everybody's going to remember you as a person that you portray. So as long as you are a nice person and you're doing your best to just be you every day, you're going to be fine 9 times out of 10. But if you're always a negative person and a bullshitter and a person that never sees things through, and you're always looking for a handout, or you're feeling sorry for yourself all the time, people don't want to hear that shit. We're all grown. We're all old. We all have our own shit that we deal with. We don't want to constantly hear about another person's bullshit all the time. So if you're that person that's constantly talking negative bullshit, look yourself in the mirror, man, and say, is this the person I want to be forever? If that is, that's fine. If you're happy and you just like to talk your shit and complain, cool, be happy. But I don't choose to surround myself with people like that because it's fucking exhausting. I got too much shit to do. I have goals. I have things that I want to accomplish. I have things I want to experience. I want to be the greatest father that I can be. And I want to spend time with my kid too. So I have a slim schedule that I got to keep,
right?
I don't want, in my free time when I want to fuck off or have my personal fun, I don't want to
hear your problem.
Indulge myself in people's fucking bullshit.
Man. Oh, Jesus. That is, I used to be that guy. Honestly, I used to be that guy.
I used to be bad like that.
I used to have to fake it, be around people all fake, like, oh, I'm Mr. Happy. Then you go home, but you're Mr.
Yeah.
Like,
you're the most evil person ever.
You're sad. but
you're confused.
You don't know what you want, right? Too many times, right? I tried to be like, I'm going to get real. My brother, he's my brother. I love him still. But I tried to be like him. I tried to mirror him. But I can't be him.
Because you're not him.
Right. Even if I tried to mirror, like, Kobe tried to mirror Michael, but I wanted to do everything like, I wanted to be the vacuum guy. Man, I was kind of sucky, but I was just good with customers and talking to people to a point, but I didn't feel like I should be taking the money for that thing at that time. I'm like, it's too much money. They're good, but I didn't believe in the price, which was the problem.
They're good, but they're expensive as fuck.
But when I made the decision to finally not be that guy was when I got out of the business. And I said, I can't be this guy. My son, Kobe, can't know. Yeah, I got a son, Kobe. But my guy, when I got out, I said, I can't do this, dude. I can't do it. My son can't see me as this up and down, wishy-washy here and there, because his legacy starts with me, right? It does. And however he's remembered in the beginning, as he's doing, is because of my actions as a father.
However much a parent pushes their self and sets the standard for their children, that is either going to advance their child or put them behind.
Right.
Period. If you are the best parent that you are and you set up a foundation for your child, you instill discipline, your child is happy as fuck, you're spending time with them, they don't have daddy issues or mommy issues and shit like that.
Right.
9 times out of 10, that person is probably going to be very happy and or successful in their life.
Right.
Now, if your parents suck, they're always doing drugs, they're never there, they don't cook food, you know what I'm saying? You just figure it out on your own. Okay, now you're supposed to parent yourself at a young age, and a young child should never have to do that.
No, they really
So shouldn't. By doing that, they're getting left behind doing everything else.
Right.
They don't learn discipline. They don't learn any type of foundation. So when they turn 18 or 21 or 23, they're still playing catch up.
Right.
25, 27, 30, still playing catch up.
Right.
Because they missed out on the developmental stages in their life, and it wasn't taken advantage of. A parent needs to do their fucking job, period.
And each parent plays a different role, right?
For sure.
Like growing up, like I didn't see my folks like yelling at each other. I didn't know what that was. But then now you see it like it's normal, like it's in some places. But I'll tell you, my mom and dad taught me the most important thing about raising kids, which is consistency. You can't spank your kid on the butt for one thing and then put him in the room. You got to look, the punishments are the punishments. Don't change them. Don't alter them. Don't let them know. That way they know I do this. I know this is going to happen, right? Mm-hmm. And that's one thing, right? I'm not afraid to admit it. I was very inconsistent with it. So you don't know what he was getting, so he would be confused. And still, but it messes with a kid's head. Mm-hmm. And you don't want to mess with a kid's head because kids are smart.
Yes.
And if you start messing with their brains, right, it's just all bad, right?
Yeah, they're going to start rebelling a certain way. They're going to be confused. They're going to have twitches and reactions to certain things that you don't want.
Right.
And it's going to confuse the shit out of your child and kind of make them like hesitant with you. I feel like I'm not a fucking professional parent by any means. I struggle every damn day. I'm learning this shit on the go. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to say my parenting skills are better than anybody else's at all, but I know I try my best.
Right.
And yeah, that's some good advice, being consistent with the punishment.
That's all you can do, right? Is just really try to take the advice from the successful ones that as parents. Don't go taking advice from one that, I always learn. I ask my parents just because, I'm not trying to brag, but I'm blessed, luckily.
That's cool.
40 years they've been married damn near and 4 kids. But by the time I came out, they already figured out what's going on. I'm the 4th one and I'm the last. So they're like, oh yeah, this guy, he's like, yeah. Everything I was doing was like, no. So I was their masterpiece, I like to say, because that's all they had left, right? They're like, well, this is it. The other 3 already made all the mistakes for me. So when I would make the mistakes, which kind of, it takes its toll too. But I'll tell you this, Levi, as I live by now, kind of more than anything, is that what you put in is what you're going to get out.
Yep.
Right. Whether it be a marriage, whether it be a friendship, whether it be anything else. Right. And in this world, we have a few select friends that we know we can trust. Mm-hmm. Right. Because there's not many people you can. And if you put in nothing but want a bunch out of it, you're missing the boat.
Yeah. And you're probably somebody that people don't want to be around if you're expecting shit in return and give nothing out.
Right. You have to offer. Don't go looking for it. Right. You can't go looking for somebody. You got to just, when things happen and it happens for a reason, just flow with it and go with it. But make sure you never give up on your goals and put everything you have, really, right? I got a few things I got to go fix, right? That have to be either fixed or not fixed. It relies on, I put it on that, right? It just brings me to a little emotional state because my folks are older, you know what I mean? Yeah. I hate even talking about me, really, but they're a little older, and so they got their 3 kids left, but they don't talk. 2 don't talk to 1. Maybe I'm the bad now, but it's just how it works, and you can't have odds especially when you lose a kid. And so that makes them real emotional. And my parents are literally, besides my kids and my wife, the most important thing I have in this world are my parents. Yeah. They don't give up. Mm-hmm. Your dad will act like he does, but in the back of my mind, but my mom is just, man, if you don't have a mom, sorry. My mom was probably a very, very vital role to learn life. So some people don't realize that a mom, she's the home cooker. No. She teaches you life lessons.
She's the wisdom.
Yeah, she's got these, and you don't even think about it until you're older. And you're like, oh, that's what she's talking about. Dang it! And no kid's gonna go listen to their mom tomorrow because I said that. But I tell you, hey, I got this quote, right? I wrote it down because I can't remember it because it's pretty deep. Oh no, it's not in this book. She took it out. Oh, there it is. I brought it. I was a little scared. Right? First of all, I do like that, though. We don't quit. We don't cower. We don't run. We conquer, or we endure and conquer. That was Kobe Bryant, by the way. But he says one thing. These young guys are out here playing chess while I'm out here playing checkers. You know what that means? Chess and checkers chess is a
completely different game
than checkers. Wait, these guys are out here playing checkers. I'm out here playing chess. Sorry, I think I said it backwards. But this, at the end of the day, hey, be 2 moves ahead and stay aware, but just focus on your goals. Right goals. Literally, man. That's one thing that you talked about a minute ago was you wrote goals. You know what you're doing in a month, 3 months, 6 months, and why? Because, and then you probably look at it. You got to look at it, man.
You got to hold yourself to it.
If you
write goals and don't hold yourself to it, then you're just having hopes and dreams.
Just writing things on paper to feel good.
Yeah, to feel good.
It makes you feel good for that time, and then you go for it. Are you still working towards it when it's not working? Is the question. Oh, that's where it's at.
And don't be afraid of failure. Failure is growth.
It's an option.
Every single time I have failed, I've looked back on it and said, fuck, man, what did I do wrong? Okay, let's try it like this. How that worked? Oh, now I can do that now. You learn through failure. Don't be afraid of failure. Embrace failure. It took me a very, very long time to learn that. Honestly, about 22, 23 years old.
Dang, you're 25 now?
26.
Oh, yeah. Pretty good.
Yeah, I'm getting old, man, but I love it. But no, you got to embrace failure, embrace questions, embrace the unknowing so you can know, so you can learn, so you can add it to your repertoire, your knowledge, your brain. It's all the technology that has been made for us is an open door to learn everything, anything and everything. We could go hunt it down and we can learn it. We don't need anybody's help. We could do it on our own. There's audiobooks to learn different languages, to learn skills. There's YouTube to watch videos, to change your oil in your car, to fix your sink, to unclog a drain.
I use YouTube a lot.
There's knowledge out there for anything and everybody to learn. It's up to us to fill our brains with it, to put in the work, to go suck in all this knowledge.
Right. Got to be a sponge.
Yes.
And absorb it. Right. The Buccaneers aren't going to win the Super Bowl this year, just so you know. I kind of want you to, though. I'm just going to end because I've been wanting to tell you this. Right? Tom Brady, he's great, and I hope he beats Bill Belichick. But I think Bill's going to prove a point and win with Cam Newton. It's going to be funny. And just because if you watch this special on Cam Newton, he's pissed. And all these other guys are getting taken, and he's not. He's like, man, I'm way better than that guy. And they just gave that guy a contract.
Yeah, they're like, well, Bill said they're off limits.
and man, if anybody could do it, we'll see if it was Tom Brady or Bill Belichick in a minute.
Yeah,
Tom Brady's pretty great though.
We will see. But my thing is that I think the Patriots are going to win maybe 7 games, maybe 8. I hope Cam plays great. They're going to suck. They're going to be trash. They're not going to make it. And
Cowboys aren't going to win a game.
I'm going to tag on my Cowboys friends. But the only thing that could stop the Buccaneers is injuries or the coronavirus. I've been saying it for months.
Or the Boston Celtics. They're a coronavirus. Sorry, man.
They look like a little germ.
Stupid Celtic germ.
The homie Jacob is about to be hot. But
they look like a leprechaunic germ.
Oh, shit.
They still got more titles.
Well, man, I really appreciate you hopping on the podcast. I feel like it was a good one. We could look back on this. We could reflect on this, and we can learn.
I gotta get home to my kids. The babies.
And we could learn and get better. So, yeah.
Hey,
that sums it up for another episode of TalkSmack.
Well, hold on. Look, can I say something real quick before you finish?
Of course.
I'll tell you, laugh a lot. In life, my bad. Your leg is, you're so short. I'm all tall and I got these long hands, but no.
Trying to rub my leg. It's okay. Just do a good job.
But laugh, right? Life is too short to be so angry all the time, like you said. But just laugh. Find something to smile about, whether it's the sun in your eye or the blue sky.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't dwindle down and die. Smile and say hi.
I appreciate it, man. Peace.
Mamba forever.
I woke up in a drunken mess. I'm about to crash, wake up, eat, reset. Pour it out, hella cash, but there's none left. Guess it went down like a motherfucking sunset. Yeah, it went down like my main bitch upset. I slurred words, but she blew them out of context. Blowing through herbs, you would think I was a top chef. Me and Cloud repeat the way we up next. Don't stress, I came to drink, dog, and do my